This episode of BrobusCast is brought to you by boxing because we had to have some sort of plug-in.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of BrobusCast. I am your host Jalen, and with me today is David.
Hello.
And Josh.
What's up?
Well, we're back.
Yeah, we're back. We
Finally.
Me, Z-Dog, and Richard recorded one without David and Josh, and then it just kind of didn't want to cooperate with me. So we didn't have one after Metal Sonic vs. Zero. So apologies for that. But we're back now, and we won't talk about the stuff we went over in the last failed one because time and because screw you guys. So this is gonna be nice and short. It's gonna be nice and sweet, and this is
Hopefully so.
Death Battle Edition BrobusCast where I have my new avatar. So
And mine too.
yeah.
You know, both of which were handcrafted by me.
Yes, David made us avatars. We didn't make one for Josh.
Well, would you want one, Josh?
I don't care. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
Proceeding on. And speaking of stuff I've made it with photo editing, would you like to bring up that one death battle I brought up in the chat? No? Oh, darn.
Okay. So let's start off with the most recent episode, Lucario versus Renamon.
All right.
During that fight, it was another one of those fights where I kept going back and forth because I didn't know.
Yeah, like, during the web
Lucario got
episode...
some good hits in there.
Huh?
Lucario got some pretty good hits in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
It definitely was one that definitely had me on the edge here, I guess, as, well, they both, are more leaning towards offensive attacks rather than putting on defensive maneuvers, so,
Right. I was hoping to get...
They would do about trainers.
Right.
Yeah, that was confirmed since day one. They weren't going to do trainers and tamers. But no, I was hoping to get a BrobusCast with you guys in before this episode came out because I know you guys are both huge Lucario fans.
Yeah.
And stuff. I know you guys are both huge Pokemon fans. So I thought you'd have quite a bit of investment, kind of like how David did when we were talking about Metal Sonic vs. Zero.
Right.
Like he had more information to drop than he ever did. I was kind of hoping this would happen again here, but that just didn't happen.
Well, I guess it's been some time since I played a Pokemon game, and I've never touched Digimon at all. So,
Yeah.
in fact, I think it's safe to say neither of the three of us have even touched one. Am I right?
I've watched like the first 2 seasons of Digimon.
Oh, okay. Nice.
This was before Digimon Tamers, which is where Renamon's from.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
So I didn't catch any Renamon stuff. I caught a lot of Agumon stuff, like Tai and Agumon, those kind of characters. It's those kind of characters that I'm interested in. Everyone else is kind of, eh.
Yeah.
I don't mind Renamon, but whatever. No, like this episode was pretty good. Like,
I definitely would say it was pretty good.
it's if I'm giving the animation like the biggest praise possible, it's by far better than Akila's last death battle, which was a couple of years ago actually.
What was that actually?
It was the Horrid one.
Which horde one?
It was my second least favorite.
I don't know which one you're talking about. Please.
This as much as possible. It's the one that has the most inaccurate result, in my opinion. That one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that
Okay, I'm seriously lost here. Please just tell me.
one.
I know.
I'm not gonna say it out loud because I hate bringing it up out loud. So I'll put it in the wonderful and magnificent chat.
All
That
right.
one.
Okay. Ooh.
Yeah. This one is far better than that. Like far better than that. But no, this one's still like only okay in my opinion. It's better than the other 2D fights this season minus Metal Sonic vs. Zero. Like the thing about this one compared to fights like Android 18 versus Captain Marvel is that they have very similar quality of animations. They're just as fast. They're just as good. When it comes down to that, it comes down to, well, which one had the better result then? And that's this one.
Right, they were pretty close together.
Yeah, this I will say this is probably like the third best fight this season overall, in my opinion. I say this with fights like Nazi vs. Ace, Lara vs. Nathan, and 18 vs. Captain Marvel existing. But it's still it's not as good as Metal Sonic vs. Zero or Voltron vs. Megazord.
Yeah, I can see what you're getting at.
No, this episode's problem is that for one with this, and this is nitpicking. Lucario didn't have a voice actor. Renamon did, but Lucario didn't.
That is straight up weird. I will admit. You know, like they both have demonstrated that they can talk and communicate with us in some form. In Lucario's case, he can use telekinesis.
Right.
Whereas, doesn't Renamon do that naturally, like without
all Digimon can talk naturally.
Oh yeah, that's right. I guess that may have something to do with the fact that they're all like digital creatures, you know, cyberspace, all that. Right?
Yeah. Yep. This episode's other problem is that holy crap, it's way too short.
I gotta admit that death battle, like the animation itself was very short. It was like, whoa.
Yeah. No, like it's not the biggest detractor ever, but it's a detractor that could have kept it from being a really, really good fight.
Very true.
And it also has the Mewtwo versus Shadow syndrome, just with better quality. In that, not only is it way too short, but these two have so many cool abilities, and like they have the most unique and easy to use in choreography powers, and that was not English. But you get my drift. These two have so much uniqueness behind them, and they use a few things. You don't even have to go into like Mega Lucario or Cubimon to do that, and if you do, they have so much more.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were going to go into Mega Lucario.
I was wondering if they were going to do that too, but isn't that something only trainers can use, or no?
You could argue for Mega Lucario without a trainer, but obviously, like it's less likely than you think. And the same thing could go with Renamon turning into Cubimon. And even if you do go Mega Lucario versus Cubimon, Lucario would probably still win.
Probably so.
But then every single form above, like the way I see it is that if it's base Lucario versus base Renamon like they did here, then Lucario wins easily. Like they said it was close, it's not that close actually. Then you have Lucario versus Cubimon, where Cubimon probably wins, but it's about as even as they said this one was. Then you have Mega Lucario versus Cubimon, where Mega Lucario craps on Cubimon as much as Lucario does Renamon. And then every single form of Renamon above Cubimon would crap all over Mega Lucario.
Yeah.
that's pretty much how this goes. That's pretty much how this fight goes. Without trainers and tamers, it's been argued that they could go Mega Lucario and Cubimon. But obviously that's not what happened. So, yeah, it would have been cool, but it wouldn't have changed much of anything. Yeah, I don't know, there's not a whole lot to talk about here. It's not, because there wasn't really much of an episode. Again, this is pretty much Mewtwo versus Shadow, but better.
Right.
There's more fighting in this than Mewtwo vs. Shadow. The Mewtwo vs. Shadow has been declared pretty much a non-fight. As in there was nothing happening and then one character dies. This one, there was stuff happening and then one character dies.
And very brutally.
Yeah. Apparently the original one, there was this wasn't the original way Renamon was gonna die. Spoilers. Apparently the original ending, I don't even know how they came up with this, but they scrapped it because they thought it would make too many sex jokes. Lucario would still use Bone Rush to kill her, but instead of just simply impaling her through the throat, he bang, there goes your top jaw, bang, there goes your bottom jaw, and then just shoves it right down her open head. Yeah.
Nasty.
So, it would have been more brutal, and not only would it have caused too many sex jokes, because bones. But it also, the sprites for Renamon wouldn't have made that happen.
Oh, I see.
So, oh well. I guess it would have been better to see something like that over what we got, because what we got was a little. It was brutal. It was brutal, yes, but it was also a little anticlimactic.
Like a quick impalement and nothing, just more than that.
Yeah, I would have preferred something more cinematic, this kind of thing, kind of like the end of another fight we're gonna get to.
Right.
And
I know which one we're talking about.
But, oh well.
Yeah.
Well, it's no big deal, but it would have been better.
Indeed.
Yeah, there's not really much to talk about, so let's just move on.
Right. Overall, pretty solid fight.
Yeah, I'd give it a solid 7.5, maybe.
I'd say it's more like it, if not straight up 7.
Yeah. If we're being generous, I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. There you go.
Right. What would you say, Josh?
I'd say it's probably about the same, 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Okay. So, moving on, to a really high, how much, despite how much it's getting, it's actually pretty hype. And that's...
How hype?
That's the next death battle, which is, unique.
I'd say it makes sense so far. And that one would be, may I say it?
Sure.
And that next fight would be Balrog versus GJ Combo.
Yeah, Street Fighter versus Killer Instinct. About time we had something like this. The thing about, Street Fighter and Killer Instinct are usually pitted up against other fighting game series, but never each other.
Right.
Up until now. Street Fighter has always been pitted against Mortal Kombat, King of Fighters. Yeah.
What about KI?
And Killer Instinct is pitted against Mortal Kombat, and at one point Soul Calibur, and at one point Mario.
What happened there?
Don't worry about it.
Okay then. Weird.
the fact that these two series are going head to head with each other is great. And these two characters are freaking amazing. Balrog's like one of my in my top 10 favorite Street Fighter characters in combo. While he's not my favorite Killer Instinct character, he's still pretty cool. He's what's great about this is that this is the fight. This is finally this fight that Torian has been alluding us to this whole time. Like all those hints, all of that stuff. It's finally come down to this. This is Torian's next fight. And judging by the screenshot we got on Twitter, it does look really good.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. I'm looking at it right now in the Discord chat that you put.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks great. And I'm so happy that they went with the Street Fighter V model for Balrog.
Well, why not? You know, it's the most recent incarnation we have of Street Fighter.
Yeah, but there's also the thing with like Dante
Sure.
in Dante vs. Bayonetta. Canonically speaking, the last game in the Devil May Cry series is DMC2, but they went with the DMC4 model.
True. Well, I guess that makes sense, but I guess it depends on the taste of the producer.
I guess. Whatever. Another high thing is that we have voice actors. We have Chris Jai Alex voicing Balrog, and we have Gabriel Kunda voicing Combo. So it's gonna be fun. This is definitely gonna be an interesting fight, and it's definitely gonna be, according to Torian, this is gonna have at least it's gonna have just as much, if not more, fight choreography than Dante vs. Bayonetta. So how that's possible, I don't know, but
My guess would probably be some involvement with, well, the fact that they are both from fighting games. In this case, Street Fighter and Killer Instinct.
yeah, I know. But have you seen how much fight choreography there is in Dante vs. Bayonetta?
Shoot. It's been a while since I've seen that one.
Okay, there's a lot.
Yeah, there is.
There's a lot, and it's a pretty long fight. So I hope this fight's long. We've been waiting long for it.
Yeah.
This is a fight that Torian has been animating since he finished Voltron vs. Megazord. So this better be freaking long.
And how many episodes ago was that?
Let's see. Natsuru's A, Sub-Zero vs. Glacius, 18 vs. Cat Marvel, Metalsonic vs. Zero, and then Curve vs. Renamon. That was about 5 fights ago. And it was also back in April, so 3 months.
Oh no, let's see. Well, actually, let's clarify that this is actually the start of August, that when we're recording this. So.
Oh, okay, fine, then almost 4 months.
Okay. Because I'm like, wait, something's not adding up here.
Megazord vs. Voltron came out April 12th, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So almost 4 months ago.
So yeah, you would be right, almost 4 months.
Okay, anyways, so that's our opinion on the matchup, and that's my opinion on the characters.
Looking very promising so far. Hope it lives up to its hype.
I hope so. It's probably not going to be better than Voltron vs. Megazord, just because of how big the scale that is.
Right, you know.
But it's probably going to be longer, I'll say that. Torian fights have been pretty short lately. Like, for Torian fights have been pretty short lately. And I hope this fight can bring that back. I don't think there's been a single Torian animation since Dante vs. Bayonetta that breaches 5 minutes. But all the ones before that have been at the very least 5 minutes. With the exception of Samus vs. Bob with that remastered, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so that's that. So I guess let's get the big guns out of the room. What's gonna happen? What are we predicting? Who do we think is going to win? Now, David and Josh might not be able to bring much to the table because not only do they know, not only have, like, David's only played one Street Fighter game.
Actually, I played 2, actually. There was, let's see, some incarnation of Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max. That was about it.
Okay, and Josh hasn't played any of it.
No.
No, not to my knowledge.
And they also have never played Killer Instinct, but then again, neither have I. Okay, so I've also been hiding my thoughts. I've researched this fight. I have an idea as to who's going to win, but I didn't reveal it to David and Josh before up until now. I'm going to reveal it now, so David and Josh are hearing it first. So, I guess future editor man can cue the drum roll effect. Future editor man is myself. I think the winner of this death battle will be TJ Combo.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking TJ Combo. Didn't we go over this yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a prediction video that came out. I didn't say whether or not I agreed with it or not, but there was a prediction video I saw that I showed David, well, I read to David, and that's kind of where I drew this from. But that's not where I got all my information from. That video came out after I'd already researched.
I see.
But no, I've already I already knew that TJ was probably going to win before that video came out.
I see.
So yeah. So the thing is, I'll give Balrog some credit. He does have a pretty big edge in terms of durability. He survived. He and Birdie survived the full blast of Bison's death explosions. Which if I recall correctly, I saw this calced on the Naruto forums, the Outskirts aka the Outskirts Battle Dome. And the full number came out to around like multi-city block level. So pretty impressive durability, and Combo does not have many big durability feats. Nor does he have a lot of feats in general, but the feats he does have not far, but they do outclass Balrog. He won 20 straight tournaments in a row. He defeated and killed Riptor and Gargos. And Gargos is like a gargoyle, pretty much. And Riptor is, if you guys don't recall, is basically a velociraptor. The only thing TJ had to recover himself from that fight with Riptor is that they gave him an eye patch. So, he defeated Fulgor twice. And you guys all remember how ridiculously strong Fulgor is. If you've watched Fulgor vs. Sector. He defeated Chief Thunder, who's like an Indian of some sort. He's like a redskin. And Chief Thunder was able to take on Spinal and Glacius. And we literally talked about Glacius like 2 months ago or whatever. Speaking of Glacius, not only did Combo defeat him as well, but he also sent him flying in one fell swoop. It's like one punch thrown, and Glacius was sent flying. He fought on par with and eventually defeated Spinal, who's pretty much a skeleton, pirate skeleton, pretty much. He fought on Tusk. I don't know who Tusk is, so bear with me on that one. And he can basically rise up after taking a laser beam. It was never really said how powerful this laser beam is, but it's a laser beam. So I don't know. But yeah, this fight, like, Balrog has some pretty impressive wins under his belt, but he also has a lot of losses, including a lot of the weaker characters of Street Fighter, like Dudley and E Honda. But he also fought Nikolai, I don't know, who is he's like a mud monster or whatever. And he briefly defeated Ryu before Ryu turned into Evil Ryu and was interrupted by Dhalsim. And then later on, Ryu activated his power of nothingness and beat the crap out of him. And Balrog's biggest feat that they'll probably spend the most amount of time going into is that Balrog killed Dhalsim's elephant in a single gigaton blow. Yeah, that's the feat that they're gonna go over, like a ton, is that he killed an elephant in a single punch.
Yeah.
He also caved in a van in a single punch. There was one feat. This was in Street Fighter X Tekken, which is like non-canon crossover, but I feel like Balrog should be strong enough to do this anyway, so I counted it. In his reveal trailer, he was right in front of like a speeding car, and he would have been run over had he not punched the hood of the speeding car so hard it flipped over. I don't know. But denting cars and possibly killing elephants is not really a big deal for TJ Combo, who again defeated Riptor and Fulgor and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm putting my money on TJ Combo pretty much.
Right. You did say it was pretty powerful the other day.
Yeah.
Especially if they're leaving all that Cybertech, no, what was it? Ultratech, thank you. Equipment in his systems,
Well, he got them removed, so...
Oh.
So I don't think we'll go into that.
Okay, gotcha.
Like, after that whole incident, he kind of wanted to prove that he can be... they can be just as impressive as he was without them. So he ripped them out, and fought on his own. So yeah, so they won't go into the cybernetics, but he doesn't need them to beat Balrog.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that. Again, not a ton to talk about. It's pretty straightforward. It's a cool fight. It's going to be an awesome fight. Cool matchup, cool voice acting, and TJ Combo is going to win.
Probably will win, but we could be proven wrong.
Yeah, maybe he will. I can't do the whole who should win, who will win kind of stuff, because they have never really done the whole Street Fighter versus Killer Instinct thing before. The sad thing about this is that Street Fighter hasn't had a win since season 1, like late season 1. So Balrog winning would break that, and that would be cool. But I don't think he should win. Oh well. Guess Street Fighter's gonna have to wait another day, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, alright, so moving on. It's DBX time.
Alright.
We only got one.
Yep,
but one is enough. Especially with how good it was. And it's Zero versus Strider.
All right.
Yeah, this one was animated by the same guy who did Raph versus Wolverine, and it's just as good as Raph versus Wolverine in my opinion, which is great because we haven't really had a really good DBX lately.
Also, may I bring attention to something?
Sure.
In the opening, they actually show a city burning. Do you think that was the same city that was from Metal Sonic vs. Zero? I mean, I don't
think so. It's not cybernetic enough. And the city wasn't that destroyed, so no, I doubt it was that.
That was my first thought. Like that was the aftermath of Metal Sonic vs. Zero. My first thoughts, just me.
It might be, but I don't think it is. Especially since different sprites were used.
I see.
This one used the. I hate my throat today. This one used the Project X Zone sprites for both characters, actually. And Project X Zone, I'll give them credit where it's due. Project X Zone sprites are very complicated to use. Yeah, but basically my summary of this is that it's basically Raph versus Wolverine with better sprites. That's basically all I have to say.
Better sprites and one heck of a victory animation. Just, dude.
Yeah.
Like that ending.
Yeah, this is the more cinematic ending I was talking about.
Right.
And not just because, like, the close-up at the end, but because, like, he slashed down and Strider just kind of disappeared.
Yep, and then there's a big fat slash mark in the middle of the city, so, you know.
Yep. So, it was a fun DBX, and it's the best one since Cloud vs. Guts.
I see.
Because all the ones between the two are not as good. They're not bad by any means, but they're not as good. So yeah, that's that. Alright, Woman in Melee time. And we start off with meh.
Say it was kind of meh.
Byakuya versus Kakashi. And aka 66 second melee. Yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed this, and I don't know if this is on purpose or not. But from the time the fight started to the time the timer came on, there was like 6 seconds between the two.
Interesting. I don't think I noticed that, but I could be just mistaken.
And I don't know. Like my opinion on this fight is that it has pretty good sprites and had the like more win, but I don't like it as much as you'd think I do. It's Woman in Melee. It's still good, but it's not as good as say if like earlier Woman in Melees. In fact, the season as a whole has been kind of okay. Like, it's not having a fantastic start. Like this one and the last one were kind of meh. The next one is okay. The next one's still good, but this one and the last one are meh, in my opinion. This one didn't have a lot of stuff happen, and they used a lot of generic Naruto stuff, like the whole fake out with the log and stuff. I just hit a chair, ow. Yeah, like, it was decently choreographed and the sprites were phenomenal, but the fight itself was kind of lame.
Yeah, I gotta go get ready, so I'm gonna have to go.
Okay.
And Josh will leave now.
Yeah.
See ya.
Got most of it, though. Alright, bye, guys.
See ya.
Alright.
Alright, so it's just you and me, Jalen.
Yep, the two people who actually talk during these.
Haha.
Yeah, this fight was meh. Like, solid 6, maybe like 5.5 out of 10. Which is still pretty good.
6.5, maybe? I'd say it was alright.
I mean, it's still pretty good for it's still a pretty good rating for 1 Minute Melee. It's just not as good as a lot of the other ones.
Right.
So I don't know. Like, I guess I'm holding it to a higher standard than I should, but it's yeah. I don't know. I would have liked to see more. More, like, obviously they couldn't fit everything in. It was 60 seconds. It was 60 seconds, but
I mean, other than the 50, character select menus and all that,
yeah, we talked about that.
then yeah, it's gonna be about 60 seconds.
Yeah, we talked about the character selection screen on our failed podcast.
Right. I mean, but then again, that's what Melee is. It's all in the title. It's a fight that's in 1 minute or less.
Yeah, no,
Or at least supposed to be.
No, it's just 1 minute. It's never less.
Well, no, you mentioned that it was like a 66-second fight this time.
Yeah, and 66 seconds.
Right. Yeah. I mean, a minute is 60, so.
Yeah, right. So, I don't know. Like, it was fine. Like, I don't regret watching it, but I don't really want to go back and watch it.
Same here.
Oh well. You can't have good all the time, I guess.
Indeed.
I'm surprised we haven't had much bad with Death Battle lately. We've had some meh, but we haven't had some bad.
Yeah. Nothing worthy of possibly starting another Unholy Trinity.
No, the whole Unholy Trinity thing is just with the results.
Yeah, but still.
We could have had that if Zero lost. Or if Lucario lost. Because it's Trinity, not Trilogy. If it was Trinity, then Lucario would have lost. If it was Trilogy, then Zero would have lost. Okay. Last up. our last topic for today, probably. Because I'm not professional and didn't think of a bonus topic.
I mentioned mine earlier. Want to get to that after this?
Still have to bring up what that is. Not now, but let's get this one. Let's get this last 1 minute melee out of the way.
Right, and that will be Luigi versus Tails. That's right. They're turning a death battle into a 1 minute melee this time.
Which was surprising because Luigi still lost. Usually when 1 minute melee remakes a death battle, when the more popular character loses, that character tends to win. That's why Green Arrow beat Hawkeye despite losing to him in death battle. The obvious thing against it though is that is Vegeta versus Shadow. But whatever. This fight was by far the best one this season so far. But it's still only okay in my opinion.
Right. I mean, it's okay.
I don't know. Like I said, this season has not been off to a good start, and hopefully whatever the next one is will change that.
Right.
Because they didn't have the silhouette hits at the end, which is weird. I figured out why, but they didn't have it. And it was sad.
Yeah.
I like those. Anyways, um, yeah, I think the best parts of this fight were the combo at the very beginning with Tails, and the whole giant Luigi versus Tornado thing. Everything else is just It's it was pretty. It was decently made, but it was also but my problem. It's my same problem with Byakuya versus Kakashi. Nothing happened. Even when they were going Mega Luigi, that's what I'm calling it because screw you. There's our title, Mega Luigi.
Maybe not. We haven't brought up my topic yet.
Yeah.
I'll mention it.
But even with the whole giant Luigi versus Tornado, it was still like a lot of nothing. Like basically, Tails zooming around Luigi missing every single hit he throws, yeah. And then he gets blown up twice and loses.
Yep.
That's pretty much all that happened.
Right. I'd like to say that Tails held pretty much controlled this fight.
Yeah. Hang on, give me a
What'd you
second.
say?
Okay, sorry about that.
Oh, geez, startled me for a second there. What was that?
The master of interruptions again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm happy Tails won, but it's still like a solid 7 for me.
Right. Same here.
So yeah, that's that. All right. David, screw it. What's our last topic?
Well, remember how I said I made these profile pics using a Photoshop or a Photoshop alternative? Let's go with that.
Yes.
You know, and you know how. Okay, screw it. I don't know why I made this one, but I made a death battle suggestion. It is Akuma from Street Fighter versus Doomfist from Overwatch. And I want to know what my past self was thinking.
AKA city level Akuma versus feetless Doomfist. Like,
Almost feetless. I don't know. It sounded like a good idea at the time. Just, you know.
All right. You know what? You want to do that route? All right. Look, there's our final topic. Just other fights we want to see. We went over our most wanted ones. Now let's just go over other ones.
This is just weird.
Like our option B, so to speak.
Oh dear.
There's our final topic.
Yep. This excuse from a Photoshop alternative. There we go. Is that a good title?
Huh?
This excuse from a Photoshop alternative. Or is that too much of a mouthful?
I like Mega Luigi.
I guess we can go with that if we need to. Unless we find something within the next few seconds.
Yeah. I don't know. So yeah, our option Bs for most wanted fights, I guess. Obviously, again, last time we said we didn't say Crash vs. Spyro because that was our #1 pick, and so we kind of already said our option Bs. So I guess this is our option Cs, I guess. I don't know.
This is totally more like more like an option D, really, for me. This one.
Well, for you, sure. I guess my option C would probably be Naruto versus Ichigo. And we kind of went over that already. I don't know. I guess forget it. Let's just bring up a random matchup we want to see, I guess. Ooh, this one's been on my mind for a while.
Ooh, what?
Especially since a video came out that was this matchup. I would really like to see Gru from Despicable Me versus Megamind.
Ooh, fancy.
I think this would be cool, and I think this would be funny.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty comedic for a fight. Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't do the research, but okay, I kind of did, but I also like watched some video that was basically going over this in their own versus show. I focused mainly on Gru because I don't have the Megamind movie, unfortunately. I
watched it once, and that was it.
Yeah, I did a little bit of I did quite a bit of research on Gru, and basically, he's boned. He's giga screwed, man. Megamind has done a lot of ridiculous crap and has actually gone up against other superheroes, like superpowered people. Gru went up against one and almost got the crap beat out of him by that one. Also, I think it's worth noting I haven't seen Despicable Me 3, so...
Neither have I. I went to see last night instead.
Okay. Yeah, so... Maybe there's something in Despicable Me 3 that I'm missing, but the video I watched also covered stuff from that movie and still said that Megamind would win. So, yeah, he's screwed. He not only is it like a complete stat stomp, but it's also like Gru has more weapons, Megamind has better weapons. So I guess it's quantity over quality, I guess. No, I guess it's actually quality over quantity. I don't know. I like Gru. He's pretty cool. But he's giga screwed. So that's mine. Hey David, can you think of a random matchup you want to see outside of the Akuma vs. Doomfist?
I don't know. That was just weird. I really don't know why that came to mind for Doomfist to fight Akuma, but shoot. Again, I've been really wanting to see something with Crash get involved.
Okay, well, since he's obviously going to fight Spyro, that's...
Yeah, it's a little bit obvious to mention Crash versus Spyro because we've already been over this.
Yeah. I know one you brought up was, you could probably, like, give us some light on, because I haven't researched this yet. Dingodile versus the Pyro.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did mention that to you in Discord.
So, that's one you could talk about.
Well, first off, I probably should mention that the Pyro cannot be hurt by flame-based weapons. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. He can. He won't have the burning effect, so if Dingodile manages to try to roast him, that's, he'll take damage, but he's not going to have the lasting burn effect. Whereas Dingodile probably would get burned.
I didn't look into it. There's one thing that's confusing me. It's from Crash's fight with Dingodile and Crash to Insanity. Dingodile is like completely surrounded in like a flame pillar. Is he actually like is the flame pillar all around him, or is it like is it a hollow pillar, or is it like a or is he engulfed in flames?
I think it's more of a barrier, like a barrier made of fire.
Oh, okay. So, yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be.
He can withstand the heat. He can take the heat. And so
he can definitely take heat, but I don't know about being burned alive.
I guess it just kind of depends on who can who could be not so much who could be least affected, because they're both shown they can both be affected by flames about as much as ordinary people can. just a little bit more just because heat, but the actual fire.
Right.
So I guess it just kind of boils down to like for one, who has the better stats. I think Pyro's stronger, physically stronger because Dingodile is not so much a physical fighter.
Right. And if this is worth mentioning too, the Pyro can use melee-based weapons. His default, I believe, is a fire axe. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why he's also stronger because again, Dingodile's not really a physical fighter.
Yep, he's mainly known for using his flamethrower.
Yeah.
And that's about it. Whereas Pyro, can use, let's see, flamethrower, shotgun, axes, flare guns, things like that.
Another thing Dingodile can do, I don't know how this is translated over to the Insane Trilogy, but because I haven't played it yet, but in Crash Warp, he can like shoot a laser beam or whatever.
Oh, that's right.
Obviously, it's made of fire, but like it's like a beam of fire, but it's a pretty fast beam of fighter. Beam of Fighter. There's our title.
Beam of Fighter. There we go. That's a better title.
Beam of Fire. But I don't know how this is translated over to the Insane Trilogy. I haven't seen that in a while. But if it's like an actual like laser beam of fire, then Pyro could have trouble dodging that.
Right.
So
Pyro may be just screwed.
So Dingodile is faster, probably. He doesn't have much like physical speed feats, but then there's that beam of fire. Pyro's probably stronger, probably tougher too. I don't know. Dingodile could take quite a beating from Crash and survive.
Right.
So,
yeah, it's come time and time again.
Yeah, so I guess durability is about even. Weaponry, definitely Pyro, because Dingodile really just has a flamethrower.
Flamethrower, and that's it.
It's unclear who's smarter, because they're both kind of dumb.
Well, let's see. Dingodile is and I guess the closest thing to intelligence with Pyro, I guess, is the whole La La Land thing that you...
Yeah, Pyro's weird.
Yeah, that is just... What the heck?
Yeah.
Like it's all kittens and rainbows in his head, but then it's all like everything's burning in reality. Just, whoa.
Yeah. Pyro is far more experienced.
Right.
They haven't really shown much in terms of destructive capacity. The best Pyro has done is that he burned down a village. But it's never really shown how long it took him to do that.
Very true.
It probably took him quite a while. But then again,
took him a little bit.
Then again, Dingodile hasn't really been able to do anything close to that. So, I guess if I was to spitball a winner, I would I'd root for Dingodile probably.
Same here.
I think the Pyro would take it, but I'll have to do a little bit more digging. Maybe I'm missing something. Yeah. So that's that. It would be a little bit weird to animate too, because really, again,
right.
It's about flames. It's a
we already had that with Natsu versus Ace. Keep in mind.
Yeah, but not so much with an actual flamethrower.
Right, they used whatever anime stuff they do. That's well put it as anime.
Thing. The thing about that is that they also are both immune. Unlike Pyro and Dingodile, Natsu and Ace are both immune.
Right.
Natsu could just eat it all. Ace is he is fire. It'd be like trying to take out a house fire with a flamethrower.
Right.
It wouldn't work.
Whereas
more work with. But these two are not immune to fire.
Yep, they are not immune to fire, but as far as I'm aware, they are immune to burning itself.
They're immune to the fire heat, but if fire was blasted at them, they'd probably get burned up.
Pyro can't, but Dingodile probably could.
I'd say Pyro probably good.
I mean, I have played TF2 for myself, tried burning pyros, and needless to sit there and say, they did not burn. They
they
hit me
die.
back. Yeah, they can die from fire, but they can't be like they can't run off while on fire,
Right.
you know, because they won't be burning. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I gotcha, but still, like they both they're not immune to fire. They're immune to the heat, but they're not immune to fire.
Right.
That's what makes this different from other fire-like fights, with the exception of a few, especially Natsu versus Ace. Because unlike Natsu versus Ace, these two are not immune. So, yeah. So, overall, cool fight. And it
Definitely sounds like one I would see, you know? I'd like to see that happen.
Alright.
I kind of am curious.
Alright, so, but unfortunately, they're probably not going to do it because LOL, TF2 versus Overwatch, and they'll probably have Pyro fight May. Who the heck wants to see that?
Yeah. May would probably get wrecked.
Yeah, May would definitely get wrecked.
Maybe. Unless, you know, she knows what she's doing, because she does have a healing factor, keep in mind.
Yeah, but it's also ice versus fire, and May
True.
has May has like nothing. Like all we know about May is that she has a cold gun.
Well, she can freeze. Well, she can freeze people, shoot icicles, heal herself, create ice walls.
Yeah, and she also has like no she hasn't showed up in any of the Overwatch shorts, which makes it incredibly hard to determine how powerful she is.
Right.
Whereas Pyro had. Pyro has in the TF2 shorts because he has to. He's one of the only characters in that freaking game. Yeah, Pyro definitely beats May, and he probably beats Dingo Dad.
Well, what about like in-game abilities? Oh, here goes my monitor. There we go. Sorry about that. My monitor just went to sleep on me.
Oh.
All right.
So is that it? Is that all we have?
I forgot to mention that May has the ability, I believe, called Blizzard. Yeah, directly named after the game company. Haha. Which can freeze a large area of people, and it lasts a lot longer, which would give May more of a time to shoot her icicles. So yeah.
Sure.
I figured it's worth mentioning anyway because, you know, if Pyro were to get frozen, that's pretty much the end of him. Because
not really.
Those icicles hurt. They can go through your skull too. I've seen it happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm pretty certain that would lead to death.
It would, but it's also not likely. So, plus Pyro's plus Pyro's like 10 times stronger than May. So I don't see that being the case.
And a little more versatile to boot.
Yeah, and even if he does get frozen, like not only can he like melt the ice, but he can also probably break out of it. He's a strong dude.
And a psychopath too.
And a psychopath.
Well, actually, that's another thing they have in common. They're both psychopaths. Haha.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, you know, May is sort of portrayed as, you know, a bit of a psychopath amongst the community.
May is portrayed as the most broken character in Overwatch.
I mean, here, I'll post a meme in the chat right here. Where is it? There we go. I did not make this one in Photoshop. I found this off of Google. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just figured it was worth mentioning.
Yep. So I think that's that.
Yeah, I think this is about it for this episode, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that's about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope I could get it out.
Yep, hopefully we can get it out this time. That'd be nice.
That would be nice. And we'll see you guys next time. So, bye everybody.
Bye.
See ya. Okay, so I know you guys have been looking forward to the last podcast and you wanted us to talk about the stuff we missed on that last podcast. In this podcast, we did not do that, so sorry, but I'm going to give my quick thoughts. This is not unanimous between the three of us. This is just what I personally think on my own, on what I think of the other things we talked about in the last podcast that didn't eventually get up. Basically, the rundown of it is Metal Sonic vs. Zero was really good. Lucario vs. Renamon, Lucario wins. Mega Man vs. Bomberman was okay. Mario vs. Luigi was meh. And Gohan vs. Superboy was meh. That's pretty much the rundown of it all. So, I apologize for the just the amount of weight you had for this one. I don't know. I just feel really bad that I couldn't get a podcast episode up before Lucario vs. Renamon came out. Because I know you guys wanted to hear our thoughts on Metal Sonic vs. Zero and all the other DBXs and Woman in Melees. There's a bunch of stuff going on in the background. I apologize. So, yeah, like, it sucks, but it couldn't be done. Oh well. I hope you guys understand, and we'll see you guys next time on BrobusCast. See ya.